Hello and welcome to the Elite YGO. My name is Reese and I'm joined by Steph, Kadir and Jongaa representative Ryan Nelson. And this is the Yugi Talk podcast episode 2. Now there's no real structure to this one because hasn't been much news lately, but I felt like it was a good time as any to sort of just talk some shit. And I have a topic we can talk about very first. Yesterday I bought this.
Right.
This webcam cost me $250. I bought this so Steph could have my current webcam. And as you can see, his webcam is just his fucking phone right now, which is terrible, but it's fine. So I bought this. I didn't realize that it was USB-C. I have a USB-C in my computer, but when I plugged this thing in and tried to make it 1080p quality, it just stopped working. It's really frustrating. I just wanted good quality content for the channel so we can finally get more than 1,200 subscribers specifically, so we can finally outdo Jongaa. Because we are apparently competition to them.
You are a threat.
Huh? I mean...
You are a threat after all.
Well, you know, with the like Brian said, our upload schedule has been pretty top-notch as of late. So, but yeah... And then
I'm taking time off work, so ours will get pumped up massively.
Shout out combo videos, I guess. But so I went back to Officeworks today, and little did I know that today is the day that you're not allowed to go into stores for no specific reason. So I went to go return this, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we can't take returns." I was like, "Sorry." I go, "I bought this yesterday, and I wasn't told that I couldn't return it." They go, "It's fine. Come back in 6 weeks and try to return it." So now I'm stuck with this camera that doesn't work for 6 weeks. For 6 weeks. So now I've got to buy I'm going to try buy like a USB-C to USB 3 adapter to see if that helps. But for the time being, you guys are stuck with this shitty webcam and you're stuck with Steph looking like that. So I feel sorry for you.
Damn.
They're going to be looking at a handsome guy the whole time. I don't know what you're on about.
I mean, well,
handsome. Yeah.
The thing is, like Steph's right now is on the robot, but like when you move really quickly, you go. I don't know if it's just my screen, but you go pretty blurry.
Is it like a sort of? It's costed 30 frames per second. It's trash.
Yeah, it's all just like pixels right now.
Yeah. Well, to the viewers at home, I look pretty crisp, so I'll accept it.
Right.
So, Steph, how has your hunt for the Dogmaticus been going? Because I know you've been on that grind as of late. How has that been treating you?
Absolute trash. I only got one new one, and that's thanks to Ryan from work today. Apart from that,
so like,
Nadir going up.
Yeah, like Nadir's $100 Australian now. Well, that's what they're averaging, which I never.
Yeah, man, I called that.
You
I
did.
said that.
You did on their first episode because
Say.
they were pre-selling for about 65. I think for a 3-of card in probably the best deck of the format, $100 is probably a realistic price. I just wish I got on top of that a bit earlier.
I think it might fall again in the future, but to me, it reminded me of like Mech Knight Gersu when that came out.
Yeah.
It's going to be like really high and then it'll fall.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I thought it was going to be like.
If you look at... I was talking to Bowden yesterday, actually, and he was talking about how he thinks Ecclesia is still super cheap, considering they're selling for about 30 a pop, because he said, you know, most decks that have a 3-of ultra rare, they usually go for about $50. And I was like, you know what, you make a very valid point. So to get Ecclesia for $30 is not that expensive. So, I don't know. That whole... I mean, the fact that we can't physically slap cards in real life really bothers me, so spending all this money just for me not being able to play is insane. But I'm buying these cards just to make deck profiles at this point. That's all it's for.
Yeah, I mean, like, I bought a case, and it's like... I agreed to buying that case when, you know, the country looked pretty good, right?
And we look like we're getting back in shape.
You know, we could be playing. But then, spend nearly $1,200 on something I can't even use.
Yeah.
And then no Starlight either.
Yeah.
That was a tragedy. But I mean...
no Starlight.
I do want to try Remote Duel. I need to try that.
I think
I've given up. I've caved in. I need to do it.
Well, you've got the webcam for it, I suppose. Like, me and Kadir have done it because we're the only two with, like, actual webcams that we can tilt. And honestly, it feels like normal Yu-Gi-Oh to me. Don't you think, Kadir?
It was pretty good. So you have like you have like your field center in the center.
Yeah, and it,
Line it up, and you're good to go.
and it basically just feels like a normal duel. I think remote duel can work. I just think Konami needs to really make an effort. And I think to make a bang, do a YCS remote duel. I think that would be so sick.
It's just so hard. Like, how do you judge it though?
Well, that's the problem. I think you'd
How
have
do you
to.
judge it?
I think you'd have to have like
So hard.
15 judges just progressively going to each room and seeing what. I don't know. It actually would be difficult to sort of manage
But then,
that.
yeah, like honestly, if you're actually like being scummy and like cheating at a thing like that, like that's pretty filthy.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I wouldn't put it
That's
past
pretty,
some
like
people.
lowest of the low. Like, why are you there?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's almost as scummy as drawing 1-for-1 with no cards in hand and sitting there for 5 minutes just trying to win. I mean, it's the same deal, right? No card to discard, and then you take someone's.
Here's a topic we can actually talk about. I mean, like slow play.
I mean,
Like, what is slow play, and how reasonable is like a lot of people's actions? Because I mean, to me, I think it's honorable. Like, if you just don't know, if you just can't win, if you know you can't win, you should just scoop immediately.
well,
That's just one.
well, here's the thing, right? If you've got 5 cards in your hand and your opponent has 7 negates, surely you just scoop and give your opponent that 1 extra pack at locals.
You know, if there's no red reboots or no Harpy's Feather Duster, no crazy imbalanced card, then like you just have to be honorable, right?
I think it'd be said for when prank kids become a thing again when Meow Meow comes out, because that's a deck that thrives on slow players, right? Life point manipulation.
That's one of the reasons why I don't want it to ever be meta, because I just know that there'll be people who don't do it fast enough and win in time, and it's so painful.
The issue is,
the
issue is, I think prank kids will become meta because I've been playtesting the new card for ages, and I've been playing it without Poly. And honestly, that deck feels like the new Salamangreat because it's 1 card starters. You can just load up on hand traps, as everyone knows I love them, and you just play a 1 card combo 5 times in a game, which manipulates life points to the point where you've got 15,000 and your opponent's got 6,000, and your combo takes 2 minutes. If you're a bastard, then you'll take 10 minutes to do your turn because you're sinking, and then time gets called. Suddenly there's a 5,000 life point difference.
It's so true, because there's this fine line between like reasonable and slow play, and it's like, I mean, as a combo spieler, as a combo player, like there's like certain reasonable steps that it might actually literally take you 4 minutes to get to an LP, but it's all reasonable, right?
That's right.
Like, I'm watching the game could say, everything going on now is reasonable.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do you draw a line?
Well, it was
I played Trickstar for ages. Like, I'm a Trickstar pig. I know how to win off life points. It's happened more than once, so.
Trickstar pig.
Damn, man. Yeah.
Well, you got to look at it. So when we went back to locals, when COVID sort of started slowing down in Melbourne, we went back, and I went back with Dragon Link, but like the newer version, not so much the old version, but like the Hulky Firebrax build. And there were times where like, I was versing Evan, for example, and he would hand trap me, and then I would have to do this obscure ass route that would take me 4 or 5 minutes to get there. But then I would get there, I would get to the LP, and it'd be like, shit, you got there anyway. I was like, yeah, but it took me a while because you got to put things here, move things around. It does become a bit awkward.
Yep.
But
the same thing might happen with prank kids.
Yeah, but if you go normal summon, if you go normal summon Black Metal Dragon and you don't get interrupted and it takes you 10 minutes to finish your turn, you are a pig, like straight out.
True. Yeah. Like if there's no interruptions.
Yeah. Like,
you should have streamlined your thing to like do it as fast as you can.
Yeah, it's like
that's my opinion as well.
It's like when Kadir used to play Orcust Cyber Dragons. He would take 15 minutes to finish his turn, not uninterrupted. Like slow play pig. What can I say?
Shut up. I can't remember them days.
I can't remember that. It's because the only time you actually played a deck somewhat relevant.
Well, I played it for about a week and then it got banned.
I know. How sad. That mermaid hit. You still tried to make it work, like you make pendulums work. Well, work.
Yeah, I'm slowly like it's not working. I can't do it anymore.
Well, you were so you don't think the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon helps at all?
It does, but even going back to like adding that in and going back to like the Pen Magician, like Pen Call, Dark Worm route kind of thing, or but it doesn't feel as strong as the pure Endymions nowadays. I don't know. Like I'd rather just stick to the pure Endymion build.
I think the issue Pendulums had was they always have to just blow their load and lose their entire hand, and if that gets stopped, I mean, where's the recovery? There is none.
Well, not even just that. It's also going. If you losing dice roll and going second, you don't run any hand traps. You don't run any interruptions.
Yeah.
The turn player builds their board, just gets rid of 1 or 2 year scales once or twice, or negates 1 or 2 things, and you're screwed because you need all 5 cards in your hand. It's not like a 1-card combo starter. Or anything like that.
Well, that's like when I used to play Dragon Link against you, and I would specifically go for a Leviania shuffle one back into the hand, because if you're down to 5 cards going second, you're pretty fucked.
Yeah.
That deck really needs all their cards, which is really, really unfair.
Yeah. I think Pendulum is just like a weird needle fiber deck. That's how I would play it.
That's how you'd play it now. Would you play the Magicians with it?
Yeah, you would just do like there's this play with needle fiber where you like go into the level 4 Crystron and then you synchro for the Supreme King Clearwing in your opponent's turn to like Raigeki them. I think that's pretty cool.
There you go, Kadir.
But-
There's an option for you.
But like that's just like playing any combo deck really.
Yeah.
But you're just playing Pendulum instead.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So basically, Haki Fibrax Turbo and
Yeah.
go for gold.
I know Japan was doing like Gore Bulb. No, but that's banned. But they were going like Naturia Beast and like Needle Fiber and like X Negate, and then they would like Raigeki them.
Oh.
And then I know that in Japan, still like Yangzing and Zephyr, they do well, but that's because they have Denglong and we don't have Denglong. Or then they have Electromite and we don't have Electromite. So
Yeah, like that whole Zephyrini route and like having like a counter trap, like you need that Electromite to just always get it to hand and get that counter trap.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll never.
It's tricky. It's just like you said, like any other deck does it, but like Pendulums just use 2 extra cards to set up that play in their scale.
I'll never forget when Kadir thought Electromite was going to go to 2 or 3, so he bought 2 more, and then like a week later it got banned.
I'm like, bro, trust me, it's gonna go to 2.
It's gonna go to 2, bro.
It's gonna get hype.
What an egg, man. That's holy. But you, I'll never.
ban this later.
Remember when you pre-ordered? What was it? Was it the dog one? The dog hand trap? The one that gains you life points?
Yeah,
you
spooky dog.
The spooky
No.
dog.
Was that the spooky dog?
I forget. So
Yes,
you
it
pre-ordered
was.
that one instead of no material, knowing full well that I told you no material is better. So what'd you do? You spent like $50 a pop on it, and then had to sell it for like $15 each, just to get something back. And then it got announced for a reprint like a month later,
Yeah.
after you bought it.
Yeah, look,
You know,
I haven't made the best
sometimes you lose.
decisions up until now.
That was a bad one though.
Sometimes you
What do
win,
you do?
sometimes you lose, man.
That's
you
true.
know?
I mean, like
investment's
even
pay
saying
off.
that now, like no materials doing nothing right now because of the new format change, like the new.
Hold
master
on,
change.
because if you're versing Numeron, if Numeron know you're playing no material, it forces them to summon 4 off Numeron calling. Like if you're siding no material and they just summon 3, you basically shut off the whole Zexal card, which is
Well,
relatively
what-
nice.
Wouldn't you shut them off completely regardless of the 2 or like the 4 or 3? Because doesn't
No, because
doesn't
because
the Zexal need 3 materials underneath
it
it?
needs 3, but it forces them to summon 4 because you know material 1 and they're still left with 3 they can make Zexal with,
See,
right?
correct. Yep.
And if they summon it with 2 materials, can it be summoned with 2 materials? I can't remember. Or does it have
No,
to be
no.
3?
It needs to be the 3.
Yeah.
It needs to be 3. It needs to be 3 XYZs.
So if that deck becomes massive, no material could be making a comeback. You just don't know. But I don't know. It's hard to say really because I think truthfully Dogmatica will be the new format.
Got Forbidden Droplet now, so that stops Zephyr.
Well, I want to really talk about that card because on the last podcast we were talking about a lot of the new cards and Droplet was one of them, but I didn't think it would be the best card in the set. I actually thought triple tactical talent would be the best card, but after thinking about it, there is no reason to think that Droplets isn't just the better card overall, especially in a format like now.
Yeah. I'll admit, to me, there are cases where, like, triple tactic talent does things that no other card does,
Yeah.
like, better than any other card, but I guess so does Droplet. Droplet does the same thing. It's just like Droplet is more universally good across all decks, where Talents has more, specific interactions.
I think
less generic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think talents will become the best card in the format when we slow right down. If we stop comboing off and it becomes more of a, you know, play a couple cards, set some background. If we ever get back to that, which I don't think we ever will, but it's very possible. That's when talents will be at its peak, I think.
Yeah.
So
It just seems to be format reliant card.
yeah.
And are they both $100? Yeah, I think so. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, well, Talents was more expensive on pre-sale, but I think they've evened out now.
And then people actually caught on. Yeah. People caught on.
Yeah.
Which was surprising.
Yeah. And then you got, you know, Ecclesia, $30 a pop. You got, you know, Nadir Servant, $100. The set is really expensive. I don't think it's possible to neg unless you get a box with friends and, like, I don't know, Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. Then you might be a bit sad.
Yeah. Based on what I've seen on the cases that people pull, all the pull ratios are really, really, really weird.
Yeah.
Like, you'll get cases of like 5 or 6 secrets and like 1 or none of another secret, which is like just making it look so weird and skewed.
Yeah.
I mean, I got 1 Maximus, no Revolution Dragon, 1 Droplet, but I got like 6 Fleur-de-Lis Knight and 4 Nadir Servant. So.
Oh, well, there you go. So, I just want to kind of talk about Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon because before reading the card, I didn't really think it was that relevant. But turns out that card is really, really, really good in Dragoonity.
Dragoonity, we go.
Because what it does is it pops itself off the scale and revives back Gatorg for free.
Really?
It literally is just a free extender.
Okay.
It'll also add your lettering.
I know it does something else.
If you draw 2, because I've done test hands where I've drawn, for example, you know, let's say I draw two of them. And now I'm not sure, is the card once per turn for both effects or 1 each?
I know that you can use the searching effect twice. Well, according to EDO, you can.
All right. So so then I wasn't cheating. So what I would do is, if I open 2, I would use 1 to search lechery, so save me doing it off the Gatorg, which means the Gatorg can then become an actual extender. And then the second Odd Eyes Revolution would just summon back the Gatorg, which is just another extender in itself. So that card, I think, will be a mandatory 3 of in Dragoonity. I think the card's nuts.
3 of?
Yeah.
Well, I think Dragoonity is nuts.
Yeah. And
I think it is.
I honestly think Odd Eyes has pushed it even further, just after reading the card properly. Because if you open...
it's low-key, like, so good. It's low-key very broken.
Yeah. But it has the same issue that a lot of combo decks have now. It's like, you know, do you have the droplets? Well, you better have it because you're gonna probably lose. Fun fact, if you do have lechery, they can't even activate droplets anyway. So that's the one benefit that has over a lot of combo decks, is because you can just turn off spell cards entirely.
And on top of that, the only way the lechery is working is if you have a Goliath or Sloth in the field, and if you have that in the field as well, they lock down the extra deck on top of that.
And with Dragoonity, it's just a 2-card combo, right? As long as you get the Dragon Ravine, and as long as you have a tuner in the graveyard, specifically Phalanx. Because what you do is you just discard Phalanx off the Dragon Ravine, search Dux, and Dux normal summon has become the best thing in the deck again, which is nuts. So, normal summon Dux, equip, just do your thing. It's just so unfair. So, I think Dragoonity will be a really strong tier 2 deck.
Well, the good thing is as well, with having that lechery and say Goliath lock, back on your turn, for lechery to stay on the field, you need to pop a monster, I think, tribute a card. So like you just get rid of your Goliath, and then you like you break both the locks, but lechery just becomes nothing in there.
Yeah.
And you can go back into your extra deck all over again.
Yeah. And the thing is, right, there were hands, because I also played the one of Darkworm, right? So there are hands where I can actually pendulum summon from my hand. So that's a thing too, which is really nice.
Wow.
Well, do you have are you gonna be playing the one of Gate Zero?
In the Odd Eyes Revolution build, I will, just to allow me to pendulum summon, worst case.
Because
Odd Eyes Revolution is what, a 12? Is it a 12?
It's a 12, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I'm pretty sure that's got a condition where you can only summon Odd Eyes monsters.
Okay. Well, regardless, you've got the Darkworm and the Gate Zero. That's a pendulum summon in itself. So I don't know. I think Dragoonity will see a lot of change over the next coming months when we get it, because I know we'll play it differently to the OCG does, It's a tendency we have over here. And I mean, they're getting the deck this month, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
See, talking about pendulum cards right now is probably going to be the most contribution I'm going to be doing right now. Like, I won't be contributing much after this.
What if we talk about dinosaurs? Because you love your dinosaurs.
I'm loving them. I probably don't know as much as you guys. But,
Well, the shit thing about dinosaurs is droplets doesn't target, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so your like wind barrier statue lock auto loses, right? To that card.
True. If you discard a monster, right? Yeah. Yep.
So
I mean, I like dinosaurs because of the combos, bro. Like Dino can do everything.
I mean,
I like the
Oviraptor.
Dino, like I like the Dino Atlantean combo. Like that's like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
With Gypsy Diva, oh, it's so good, so strong.
Well, Oviraptor's still one of the best normal summons in the game. It's so nuts.
Yeah, man. Like I'm thinking about it, like just sitting here now, and there's no events going, so there's no ban lists, and I feel like there's so many powerful cards and decks that we just don't get to like play.
Mm.
It's really sad.
Well,
Like if you think about like the power level of so many cards we have in the TCG, it's just like wow, everything's just so strong. It'd be really good to play in an event right now. Honestly, I would really enjoy it.
well, I remember.
Like, it'd be a ton of variance, like based on the matchups you'll get, but I think it'd be really fun and sad.
Well, I remember the region. I remember we had a regionals get cancelled right after whenever Halky
Yes.
Fibrax came out, and you were really excited to play the most degenerate
Yeah.
Halky Fibrax.
So, yeah, people watching. There was a regional in Australia that there was going to be Steam and Bulb and Destrudo legal at 3 copies with Halgi Fibrax.
Yeah.
There was going to be a regional.
Right
But
before the ban list.
COVID-19 stopped it. And I made the sickest deck. I'd made the most disgusting deck. Like it was so good. I was so ready to play it, and then it got cancelled. Like my deck was literally 3 Steam, 3 Destrudo, and like double Bulb.
Yeah.
And like a scrap engine. It just did everything. It did like every broken combo available, but man,
You missed
it. Killed it, bro.
No, you missed it. I know, man.
I was so impressed. I was ready for that like top, and then ready for that like clickbait like video, and then a week later just say, oh yeah, it's all banned now, guys. Sorry,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Well,
I love Steam Deck Cloak, bro. I was playing that for so much,
do you
so
think?
long.
Do you think it's fair for a ban list to happen now that nothing's happening?
I don't think it's fair.
Like,
They have nothing to base it on. Again, Konami is screwed. They have to acknowledge online metagames
yeah,
if they make ban lists. But like, oh no, they could make ban lists like unbanning things.
that would be okay.
I think
That would be okay.
to like push further product.
Yeah.
Like I think Rusty Bardich should come back. I think
Where is my Rusty?
I think Wind Up Carriers and Mighty should get unbanned. I mean, I don't have a ban list in front of me, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of cards that could get unbanned, and there's ones that should get unbanned for future product.
Yeah. I mean,
So that's one thing that they could do.
how sad would it be if you just spent $700 on like an Eldritch deck, and they just go, you know what, we're hitting the deck anyway? I'd be fucking.
I honestly think Eldritch is so fair. I think Eldritch is very fair.
Really?
Like, it is a very interactive deck. It's very grindy and it's very interactive. And I think as generic zombie support, it's also very good.
Yeah, but it's never used as that.
I think
right?
it's pretty good. Well, very rarely.
Mm.
Like, there's some decent like zombie rogue decks that you can play that are really good with Eldritch, but they're rogue. They're not meta at
Yeah.
all. When you think about it, all Eldritch does is a pop and a DD Crow. They have 2 things. And it's like, they have a lot of advantage, but at the end of the day, their cards only give them those 2 interactions.
Yeah, I
Where you
suppose
look
you're
at
right.
if you look at any other combo deck, it's just like, okay, well, they go plus infinity and I can't play at all.
Mm.
It's just I like decks and engines that synergize well with other decks and engines, and Eldritch is one of those.
Well,
'Cause
Eldritch,
Eldritch can go with
yeah, it can go with anything that is normal summon reliant, because that deck isn't normal summon reliant at all.
Yeah.
That's why Invoke became such a big deal. That's why Numeron, Eldritch are so massive right now. That's why you can definitely play Dragma Eldritch. That's definitely going to be a big deal too. So
Oh yeah, it's like that deck is cool. Like I was literally the first time I get to remote duel someone, I was gonna play Drag my Eldritch, just because it'd just be a bunch of simple +1s, and I can actually interact with my opponent.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to like sit there comboing for 15 minutes on them, which I might eventually, but
Well, you always go
yeah,
back there.
I think, yeah, of course, I'll always go back there because I mean that's what I like doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally, in terms of game and card design, I like engines that promote deck building. I don't like engines that like limit deck building. And what I mean, like, I don't like the whole dragon ruler, you need to play 27 cards in every deck. I don't like that. Like, that kind of bothers me. But then it's like, oh yeah, Eldritch engine, you could literally play any Eldritch number from like 5 Eldritch cards to like 30.
Yeah.
And then you just pick. And same with like Invoked, same with Dragma, same with like Shadow. I like stuff like that.
Striker.
Where you get to make, yeah, even Sky Striker.
Remember,
well, that's a bit of a. Yeah.
Remember Striker Orchestra, man? That shit. I remember at YCS Sydney when we were all there, and I don't know, I think I dropped because I suck. But I was watching top tables, and I'm pretty sure 90% of top cut was just like Orchestra Striker, and it was just so sweaty just watching people just fucking card flicking.
I will defend that deck honestly. Like that one locals where I played Orchestra Striker, I played 5 mirrors, and I went 5-0. That was some of the sickest games I played in a long time. Like they were very fun and very back and forth.
Yeah.
But the power level of that deck was just insane. Like I mean, I played versus Jesse Cotton at that YCS.
I saw that game.
And he did the whole Nightmare, Greffa, like harp, double Forbidden Chalice hand or something on me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it was so bad.
You played Dragon Link, didn't you?
It just got so bad. Yeah, I played Dragon Link. I went first. I did like my standard 2 or 3 in negate field. Like it was like Harbinger, Savage, and X or something. And it's like, because he specials the Greffa, it's stronger than the Appaloosa. And he puts the Nightmare straight in the grave. And then like he did some action, and then he's just like Chalice on the Harbinger and the Savage. I was like, okay.
Guess I lose.
It was just it was a Sanjay hand. Like that, it's just a Sanjay hand.
Oh, don't mention Sanjay around Steph. That guy is the biggest sack ever.
Sack Jay.
Sack Jay. So Steph, what decks are you planning on building at the moment?
None.
None.
No, I'm planning on building. I'm going to try to do Sacred Beast Dogmatica. And we tested it last time. It does have synergy.
It does have synergy. You actually did lock me out really hard. Let me ask you a question.
Wait.
Oh, go Ryan. Go Ryan.
I mean, Sacred Beast Dogmatica. What's the synergy? I can't see it. I'm trying to think.
Not necessarily like the synergy of like getting rid of but he uses the Dogmatica cards and the extra deck cards that gain him advantage while also relying on the skill drain of the Sacred Beast deck. So basically he would lock you out while maintaining really strong card advantage with the Dogmatica cards. So if for some reason the Sacred Beast part of the deck didn't work, he could rely back on Dogmatica.
I can see how it works now.
Yeah.
I can see how it works now. Because you're not using the little Dark Beast cards for extra deck. You're just gonna summon Sacred Beast, play a field spell, and you draw 2.
Yeah.
Then you're like, Eclusia, and then +5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that's how he was playing. And honestly,
Makes sense.
Low key, it's definitely a rogue deck. But when I was versing him with my Dragon Links and my Prank Kids, there were a couple games where he proper bet me over. It was interesting.
Yeah, I have a profile coming out soon of Eldritch Sacred Beast. Now that's got real synergy. That one's really cool.
Shout out Jongaa.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool synergies there. It's really nice.
So, Steph, I got a question for you. How have you been affected in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh with the whole COVID thing? How has that bothered you so far?
We're allowed to swear on this channel?
I'm pretty sure I've done it numerous times, but obviously don't take it overboard.
It fucking sucks.
Do
do shit, man. Like, it's so shit.
The worst part was we got teased with the whole locals thing for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then it just went. Pfft.
I remember when I went into.
For what? For what? Can't even fucking use them.
Remote duel, bro.
That's what we're gonna plan on doing.
No, because like if someone pisses me off, I want to slap him in person.
Just slap your phone.
When Sack J sacks me completely, I want to be there to either get the fists out or slap him. Like I need that in my life. I need the abuse in person.
You're a messed up human.
The viewers will eventually learn this over time.
So, Kadir, what about you?
It is the human element, though.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. Obviously, I miss it, but like I remember, because where I live, I went to lockdown about a week or two before everyone else.
That's right. And you missed out on 2 locals, I think.
Yes. So I was meant to be doing that for about 6 weeks, and then 2 weeks in, a week or two in,
We all copped it.
you all copped it with me. So that's what you get for talking shit.
I'll never forget when I was at locals, I won the locals, and you call me and you're like, so what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I just won locals. He goes, oh yeah, that's right, you're doing that. You were so devastated.
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
But you know what? So I've had an idea, and I guess I can bring it up on this podcast because it'll be an interesting topic. But I've been thinking about doing like remote duel, like the Elite YGO remote duel tournaments, where I basically record everyone's remote duels and upload them to the channel. If would you guys be interested in something like that?
As long as if you commentate over it, just do a better job than the Kelly effect, please. It's
Don't bring up. We are probably going to cop so many dislikes for this rant right now, but that man has to be one of the stupidest people I've ever. I can't. When I watch some of his profiles, man, and the way he talks about cards just do not make sense.
I do not watch him, so I don't know.
I'll tell you what, at the start I watched him and I used to like him, but once I started learning more about the cards and playing the decks that he's like
Talking
using
about.
for the decks, I'm like, they just, I can't.
It's like Kira Twig, right? Kira Twig, I understand his audience is very much budget duelists or just people that enjoy more fun stuff. But when I watched his, for example, Rocket deck profile, and he said that this deck does not play Alpi or Pisti, I literally, I just...
Yeah, you just immediately close.
Yeah,
And you just
I was like, how can you even, I can't.
Yep.
Just things like that, man. What it turns people into is those classic Yu-Gi-Oh duelists that shit on people who get angry at people for wanting to play somewhat of a competitive deck. You know what I mean? Like LP and Pisti are not expensive cards, man. They're not expensive. I just don't get it.
But on the route you're talking about, having them like the webcam duels, whatever we're gonna call them. That's actually, I think that's a really good idea. If we get like all the people from locals and just get them, one by one, have like the pairings and everything, and have them streamed.
Yeah,
man, and have I don't know. I think it'll be interesting, and I don't necessarily need to commentate all the games. What I can do is join the game with you guys talking, and we can just all 3 of us kind of communicate while the duel's happening.
Why are you webcam for that first?
Well, when I get this hunk of shit fixed,
I guess we're waiting 6 weeks then.
Yeah, pretty much. And right then we'll be back at locals, and we might as well just bring the camera to locals.
I promise you this: we will not be playing locals till this time next year.
No.
I swear to you. I swear to you, man.
Who knows? Who knows, really? Who knows?
COVID's really destroyed.
We never know.
Because I nearly quit at one stage. You guys remember how close I was to just selling everything. I could have made $5,000 because I own literally every expensive card in the game, minus the prismatics.
I was trying to persuade you to do it because I already sold all my cards and I got $3-4 from it. I'm like, dude, you got more than me, so. You're sitting on a landmine of money. Granted,
I am happy I didn't sell it because it led to this YouTube channel, which is shout out, got 50 subscribers in 7 days. Not really, but I'm actually super happy with the progress, and I'm very proud of all of us for getting us to that point. People might not know this, but I'm sure my close friends know this, but I have started probably 70 YouTube channels in my time, and this channel has grown the fastest out of all of them, and I'm very, very proud of it.
Shit, it has hit 51.
Yep, 51. And it's only 49 of them are my accounts that I've made. So that's so good.
Not bad.
2 legitimate
I mean,
subscribers.
it's probably the only thing you can do in lockdown is make, cool content, right?
Well, that's kind of the thing I took advantage
that's what
of.
kept me going.
Yeah. Because I remember talking to Brian, I was like, look, man, I really wanted to make content. And I was like, but I swear, if I start a YouTube channel, when you take it personally and get offended by it, I'll be so pissed off.
We should just bounce off each other.
That's exactly right. And...
Bring in, bring out.
I mean, here you are on our channel, and you have more subscribers. Realistically, I have more to gain from this than you do. Because, I'm sure all our viewers overlap. So my 50 subscribers are probably your subscribers too. So...
I mean, I just like talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, and I think format like this is a good way to do it because, like I've mentioned, there's like one other Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it's... what's his name? Blade YGO. I remember looking up Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, and he's doing one also. But I wanted to make my own because I don't think this specific format is cluttered on YouTube at the moment. So...
That's fair.
And, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an ever-growing thing. I don't think you'll ever run out of things to talk about. Whether there's news or whether you just want to talk about a story that's really fun or funny that you've had before,
Like the Salomon Great part or Phoenix.
I want to talk about that because that was one of the funniest things ever. Oh my god! So we're at locals for the longest time. Everyone knows me. I'm a Salomon Great shield, like through and through. From the start of the deck coming out till even now, I still have the deck. Listen, I don't want to talk about that. Anyway. I will be doing a deck profile of that, actually. I just need Kadir's sign-up mining, so in 6 weeks you'll probably get that. Unless he ships them to me. But anyway.
I'll post them to you.
So, I had this neat combo that I had never seen anyone do, where basically you make Pyro Phoenix, you'll clear the field, then you would use your Will of the Salamangreat to summon back 4 creatures and make an Appaloosa and basically seal the game from there. That was the kind of idea from it. So you'd kill the opponent's field, they'll be left with like 1 or 2 cards, and you're there with a counter trap and 4 Appaloosa negates. Almost guaranteed me the game every single time. At locals, Steph was there playing Pyro Phoenix because I told him to. He's sitting there playing. He's versing Sanjay. I'm
like so new to the deck, so I was butchering every combo possible that Reese was trying to teach me as well.
Yeah. So basically, he's versing Sanjay, and then what he does is he What was it? He wills back the Pyro Phoenix and literally at the top of his lungs screams, Pyro Phoenix! Summons it out and just attacks Sanjay for game. It was the best thing ever.
I think it was Ryan that actually screamed that out.
Yeah, it was...
No. I got out the video on my phone and I played it.
That's right. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the greatest thing ever. And Sanjay was so upset. You could see it in his face. He was just like, oh no. Not like this. I thought that could solve it.
Shout out Sanjay, bro.
He is one of the...
I miss Sanjay so much.
He was very entertaining.
He's so pure.
Yeah. You get some good moments out of him. Like that time I double even with him. That was fun. It was
double
evenly anyone and they'll have fun.
I have a tendency of getting double evenly.
Can we just mention that in the last 2 episodes we've had a mother interrupt the podcast? So Ben's one full hijacked it last time, and my mum just came in just now. So next podcast I think it's up. Kadir's mum can walk in and just belch her. That'd be fun.
Well, I told her that not to walk in, but I don't know if you've heard, but I heard her through the headset just yelling. So I don't know if you've heard that, picked that up.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Nah, I didn't.
Can't beat the pack opening video of mine where my friend drops a spoon down in the kitchen and all you hear is like, sorry.
I don't think anyone heard that because I didn't. I can tell you now, until I was really editing that specific bit, I couldn't really... And
I had to tell you about it.
Or else I wouldn't have picked up on it. But
the music in the background kind of like hides it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But like we still laugh about it to this day, me and her.
Well, shout out to Ryan because his videos with the music in the background gave me inspiration to do the same thing. I think it makes it a more chill environment, makes it easier to watch. It's just, I don't know, I feel like it's something you can really just put on in the background and just watch and listen to. So,
Sacred Beast deck profile, I don't want that mellow music. I just want screamo.
it's hard because of the copywriting, I think. So.
Well, we've actually got a copyright.
I think the music, because it's all Brian. It's all my lovely editor Brian Pan. He finds all the royalty-free music. But I mean, I'm taking like 3 to 4 weeks off my work so I can actually learn how to properly edit my own videos because I'm very lazy and I work so much that I just record a video and chuck it at Brian and say, "Hey man, here you go." Then he does whatever he wants, and then And then in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever Evolving, like, have you guys seen The Hobbit? Like, that dragon on the big pile of gold?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Well, I realized that I'm pretty much like that. Like, my desk is always, like, covered. And I'll clean it up, and then I'll have one night where I'm making some decks, and then it's just all back again.
Well, I mean, look at this.
It's so messed up. Like, I have every meta deck on my desk right now. And it's just like... I can make so many videos like all the time, but I obviously choose not to, right?
I mean, you obviously don't want to overkill it. I mean, I'm scared because we've uploaded 10, 11 videos at this point within 2 weeks. I'm sure at a certain point we're going to run out of content, and I'm really scared of that. That's why I'm hoping this podcast can become a weekly thing, which would be really, really good if we can make this like a weekly occurrence because at least it guarantees the people something that they've been promised.
Well, I'm just scared about all that bad quality. That's what I'm scared about.
There's always that for next podcast.
Sorry, what was that, Steph?
Aren't the Megatins coming out like in a few weeks?
I think in 40 days because I was watching Fafa's stream and he's got countdown to Red Eyes Dragoon as if it's like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So yeah, and give or take 40 days, I think we'll have it probably by the end of the month. I'm not exactly sure, but that card.
I think that's what it's coming out.
Yeah. Do you guys think that'll be like a promo card, or do you think it'll be like a?
Yeah, it's a promo. I think it's like a Nibiru again. That's what I think it's gonna be.
Interesting.
That should be right then. The price shouldn't be too high, should it?
I mean, Nibiru is $50, right?
Well, now it is, but back then it was like $20. It wasn't like $20 back then.
Yeah, it should be that
pretty much 15, 20.
I think I pre-ordered mine for like 13 each back then.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Nibs.
I think Dark Ruler was more expensive back then.
True. People were more on Dark Ruler.
I think Dark Ruler is going to slowly die off now because of droplets.
Yeah,
well,
there's a lot
with droplets.
Was that good?
Like with droplets, like it's. Yeah, I get it. So I was just gonna say, like you gotta like disc a lot of cards, but like you just need to disc whatever you want, whether it's 1 or 2 or 3.
It's also more of a proactive card, so you can main deck that, and whether you're going first or second, the card's still good because you can just set it and play it on your opponent's turn anyway.
Can you respond to that? Like, can you negate it, or is it? I haven't read the card properly.
So the card says you can discard 3 cards, right? If you discard a spell card, then your opponent can't respond with spell cards.
So is this cost? Like
discarding it is a cost. Okay. So you would let's say for example you discard a spell and 2 monsters, then your opponent can't respond with spells or monster effects.
Wait, so do you have to discard? Do you have to discard 3 cards and
up to 3? Up to 3.
So you can do 1 spell, 1 monster, and that's it. Like just leave like that.
And then they can't respond.
Yeah.
Spell or monsters. Yeah.
And you just get to negate 2 effective monsters.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
And like. The fact that you can't respond to it's really nice, and it's like I said before, it's a proactive card.
Well, it's like Forbidden Droplet, Nightmare. It's like Orcus combo all over again. Normal summon.
I mean, I played with Fluffles, and Fluffles don't necessarily revolve around the graveyard, but you just get so much hand advantage in that deck now. It's so unfair. You know, there was like I remember I was playtesting against somebody, and I activate Toy Vendor. And then I discard Wings and 1 other Fluffle card with droplets. And then because I have Toy Vendor and Wings in the graveyard, that 1 card drew me 3 cards because I got the draw by banishing the 2 Fluffles, destroyed the Toy Vendor, drew another card, and then searched off Toy Vendor. So I actually went plus. I actually didn't go negative at all during that combo.
Yeah, see, I don't get that deck. I never know what to do with that deck.
Well,
I don't know how to play against
that's why in my profile I played 3 Wings, 3 Bear, because that combo alone gets you 3 cards out of it. Why would you not play that?
Weren't your ratios wrong?
My ratios were wrong.
Weren't your ratios wrong?
I will say one thing though. I after reading Fright for Repair, that card really combos well with like Cruel Whale because it just foolishes that card for you and it becomes a free hand extender. So I would actually consider playing that and cutting like the Dolphin or something to 2.
I just want to say I love YouTube comments. They always make me happy.
I mean, on your videos, they are so hilarious. It's like
I hope you're not playing that in the tournament.
Some are very funny.
It's like, you know, a guy asked me what's a cheaper version to Appaloosa. It's like, you know, man, I gave you a cheaper version to Forbidden Droplets because that card is replaceable, but a card like Appaloosa is not. There is no other card you can replace with that does the same thing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't exist.
It's sad.
So
some cards are just better than others.
Yeah. I mean, what decks are you working on now, Ryan? Give the people what they want. Tell us what you're going to be working on content-wise. Megalith. Is that going to be your next video?
Rock deck. I don't know what's going to be in my next video. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. There's like 3 videos I have already made.
Just waiting to be uploaded?
I'll be put it up soon, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to do Megalith, and I'm going to do like 20 to 30 minute videos because the deck's just so stupid. Megalith is so dumb.
Yeah,
like,
because of Full, right?
It's just because of like Block Dragon and Gallant Granite. It's so good.
Yeah.
Unfair. It's just one of those decks that when it gets to a certain point in the setup, you just can do anything in the game. You can FTK anywhere you want and do any combo that you want. It's just about picking the right one you want to do that will win you the most games.
Yeah. Well, I was watching an OCG combo with it was like Ash Blossom and Monster Reborn, right?
Yeah.
And he just goes into Halki Firebrax, then turns that into Union Kara, which gets Block Dragon, and then it just from there it's just never-ending combos. It's just the deck is really insane.
Yeah, what have I been seeing lately? More Isolde decks as well.
Is that because of the
popping up?
Is that
it's because of like Noble Knight, but also like what is it, Fire Flint Lady? I've seen that a few times, and I know there's those Codebreaker cards that came out in Code of the Duelist.
Those cards look really good.
Eternity Code, yeah, and they make Isolde. So like a lot of decks can go like you need Needle Fiber into Codebreaker into Isolde.
Yeah,
and yeah, again, it's all very relevant because that like Noble that Isolde and that Noble Arms guy, that Renault guy, and the level 3 like Violon Cube or whatever, they're really just generically broken and like busted in heaps of combo decks, not just strictly Infernoble. So and there's a lot of FTKs with like Cyberstein where you search the Psychic equip spell that makes it for free, and so then you just go Reprodocus and Cyberstein, make it Psychic, and then you get infinite Cyberstein effects, and then you kill them with the Phoenix Bombardment Bird play. That's pretty cool, and that's like it's all possible just off like Isolde and Needle Fiber.
Yeah,
people don't know that, but again, playing FTK decks is kind of rude. It's not really the point of the game. Like, I'd rather just do them as like a proof of concept, but they're a bit rude.
That was the best. That was the best fucking way to say that.
Though, yeah, if the FTK requires like extreme effort or like an extremely hard win condition, I think it's cool.
I mean, you did that.
Like,
what was that?
Block Dragon FTK.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well,
that's another one that every deck can fucking do. Any deck can do Clock Dragon FTK. It's so easy to do.
Steph knows all about that Slash Draw FTK though. Oh. Do you remember that one, Steph?
Oh my god. I remember that.
Literally, like, halfway, just couldn't be bothered. He's like, oh, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get it, and fucking guessed it. Such bullshit.
Yeah, he was like, activate Slash Draw now, and it just happened to be Slash Draw. It was just so ridiculous.
Was that against Thomas White?
That's right. Yeehaw.
Yeah. Shout out Thomas White.
He'd be a good guest on the podcast. Just yelling constantly.
Oh, he would be really funny.
Talk about communism.
He's actually been super quiet as of late. I mean, I don't... Yeah.
I mean, there's no locals, so I don't know. Like, he's not really that active on social media anyway. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really play Yu-Gi-Oh unless it's in real life.
I'll tell you what, though.
He doesn't really like look.
He's come out with some of the funniest one-liners.
Dude, the funniest thing he's ever done was when he was playing trains, and then he just screams at the top of his lungs, "Choo choo! You just entered the Tom White Express
Without a ticket.
without a ticket."
Yeah, everyone died for that one.
Oh, that was the greatest thing.
Yeehaw.
Oh. So, I have an interesting topic for everybody.
Right.
This time next year, what do you think will be the meta?
A whole new deck.
Do you think it'll be a whole new deck, or do you think something from now will still be hanging in there? Like, you gotta think Sky Striker were around for over a year, being the top contender. So,
Dragma's be splashed into a lot of decks.
do you think Dragma will get hit at like quicker than we expect?
No.
I don't think anything will get banned. If anything, it'll be like limited. Something will get limited. That's about it.
It'll probably come at the cost of extra deck monsters.
Yeah, like it's not broken. Like you just gain advantage, and that's about it.
Just gain advantage, whatever.
But, yeah, it's pretty balanced. Yeah.
But I think cards like Eldritch are more than likely going to hang around for a long period of time.
Yep, I definitely think the Eldritch engine is intact for ages.
Yeah. I think Adamancipator might not hang in that long because I think once they lose Block Dragon, they lose a lot of potential. Not saying they'll be bad, but Block Dragon is the reason that deck is what it is now.
They lose a lot of power off that. A lot of power.
And I think the Block Dragon ban is inevitable.
Depends how long they keep. They keep how long that TCG keeps Needle Fiber for. Like if they just outright ban it, it seems like something like they would do.
You know something though? And I said the same thing about Summon Sorceress. I don't want those cards to get banned.
Same, I don't want them to be banned either.
Yeah, like Summon
I
Sorceress
love Needle
made.
Fiber. He's like one of my favorite cards.
Summon Sorceress made so many bad decks good. When I was playing Zombie Trap, like Zombie Floodgate, Summon Sorceress made that deck so much better than what it could have been.
It made it made going first with Cyber Dragon be fun. You had the Griffin, Infinity, and Seeger block. That was fun.
It was really good in Nimble Frog as well. Really good.
Of course it was. But yeah, I think the first casualty will be Link Cross before Needle Fiber. I think that's the way we'll do it.
Yeah. Link Cross is pretty like, it's just doing stuff that it shouldn't be allowed to do. That's its problem.
Well, it just turns one monster into 3.
It should have just had a restriction.
Well,
it should have just been like you can't use the tokens for like non-Cyburst things or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
At least
that's what I think.
But you know, I welcome broken cards to the game because it gives us a period of just absurdness. I just like broken cards. It's just it's the reason I like Dragon Link so much, because being able to do, and contrary to popular belief, Ryan started the whole Garden Rose engine thing. I firmly stand by that.
Oh, I stole it from Japanese people in videos.
But you were definitely the one to bring it to our attention and the attention of your subscribers.
Yeah.
Before like Shuping even came out with anything about it. So. Well,
I don't want to be pretentious or whatever, not humble, but shouldn't that guy, Shun Pingzu or whatever, he's like most recent iteration that he played at like some luxury tournament.
The VFD version?
It's pretty much like, like his main deck is just, Ryan, it's just my deck, right? Like, and like he started out playing like 40 card rocket deck with hand traps, and then it just slowly moved to Ryan deck.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say anything or anything, but yeah.
no,
like,
well, even at the start with your Dragon Link, like when you started playing that Kokomiro Drago, like no one, I didn't know what that card existed. Like the no summoning lights of darks, especially in like that Orcus kind of format thing, and that
was just like a perfect storm of kind of events because it was just so good in that format. Like I played that Dragon Link deck when Striker Dragon came out. So when no one was playing Dragon Link, and I literally kept a record. I kept a record in my phone of my win-loss, and I tried like really hard to like make that deck as good as I could, and then yeah, I came third at a regional, I guess. But it's cool. Like I enjoy if I enjoy a deck a lot, I like to like stick it out and make it work.
Unlike
I
Steph.
played
Yep, there it is. I was waiting for that as soon as you started talking.
I played a Eldritch with like bad zombie cards for 3 locals in a row, and like the last locals I played it, I had so much fun, and I'm like, nice. I think I figured it out. I guess it just goes like just don't give up straight away on a bad deck, or if you think it's bad, or if you think it's rogue or non-meta, just stick with it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I think my problem is I don't know how to let go. Like me with pens and me with Cyber Dragons, I held onto that for so long. But like I do enjoy it though. I like.
But you have an obsession.
Yeah, I get attached to it like too much, and I just like Reese was saying the other day, like I start lagging behind in like deck progression and like having.
Well, this is
updated, current meta and like.
This is your current problem, right? Like your main decks right now are Cyber Dragon, Dinosaurs, and Pendulums. They're the only decks you currently own, right?
I got like old fucking like shitty rogue decks like.
Sure,
like
and I think you still have Salad, right?
I've still got Salad. I've got like my fun deck, my Chaos Max deck. That's just for fun. And I've got the just pure, what are they called? The one we had the competition with. Necros, yeah.
Well,
but don't have the Dragon
hold
card
on to
them.
those.
I mean, I find it hard to let go of decks all the time, and I constantly revisit decks.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. You just got to keep like updating it, I guess.
But I also think
just got to try and bring the new with the old.
Yeah. But I think
I'm really sad. I know like every few years I play Evil Heroes again. I always play Evil Hero, but I play like Dark Gaia OTK.
Yeah.
And so the last time I played this deck was 2018 when Grass came out, when Grass was at 3. And I played like Infernoid, Magnet Warrior, Evil Hero, Dark Gaia deck, and like it was so fun. Like it's amazingly fun.
Yeah.
And then all the new Evil Hero support cards came out, but they're like $100 each, so it sucks. But now you can play Dogmatica Evil Hero, because if you don't know what Dark Gaia does, he gets stronger based on the Fiend and the Rock you make.
Yeah.
So you send like the 5k Magnet Warrior Fusion out of your extra, and you send the 5k attack, what's the name? Cubic Fusion out of your extra with the Dogmatica cards. And then on your next turn, you make Dark Calling and you make a 10,000 attack guy. So I'm going to make that deck eventually, but expensive. So expensive. But anyway.
I remember
visit
like,
your decks.
Yeah, I remember in like 2013 or something, around when Chronomaly were a thing.
Yeah.
My friend built that deck, and obviously the most rogue deck you could ever think of ever. It's never left that position. It's not even rogue. It's probably worse than rogue. Anyway, not to offend those people. He made
Chronomaly did really well in Japan.
Yeah. So he made a Dark Gaia Chronomaly deck where basically the strategy was make what were the Fiend rank 5 Exceed guys? Like
oh man, that's hard.
Like the dark and the light ones.
Terrace and Armag.
That's it.
It's like Armadis or something?
Yeah, something like that. So he would basically
Armades, but the dark one? Yeah.
So he'd basically make those guys and then use obviously Lava Golem, because they were rank 3 and rank 5 turbo decks. So he would eventually make those and then turn them into, and make Dark Gaia out of that. Just win like that. It was really interesting.
I see how that worked.
Yeah, it was funny.
Dude, I think around that time I played Rescue Rabbit actually.
That
doesn't seem like your kind of deck though.
No, like Evil Hero Rescue Rabbit, because you would use Rescue Rabbit to summon the Archfiend Soldier, he was Fiend, and Evil Swamp Heliotrope, he was Rock.
I see.
And then like Augusta Emerald was Rock. Lava Vault Chain, like Foolish Burial, your like right card for you. That was a cool deck.
Yeah. So I want to ask, because I don't actually know much about your, apart from Kadir, because I'm the reason he started. I want to know, Ryan and Steph, how was your introduction to the game? What sort of started you? What was the first decks you played? And any funny stories about those?
Talk first. I have a long story.
Okay, Steph, you go. So tell us about your introduction to the game, what you played first, and any specific funny stories about, I don't know, scapegoats or whatever. Hello?
Does he want to start, or is he just... Is it just... I think your comment about the scapegoat, I don't know if that was a hint, but...
I can't hear him. Hey, Steph, maybe leave the chat and come back. He's so laggy.
Lost,
Yeah, see, like I'm not sure if his lips are sealed or if he's just, like, lagging from the camera.
I wonder if his microphone's coming out of the beats. Anyway, while Steph figures this out, Ryan, you go. You tell your extra long story.
Alright. So... liked Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, but my parents then never bought me any cards. And then I used to play on my DS. I played like all the DS games.
Yeah.
So I knew how to play the game. I knew how chains worked in general. Like, I knew how to play, like, because I played like online on my DS a lot.
Yeah.
And then, when you get older, and when I randomly had friends in high school, and he's like, I'm buying these Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I'm like, really? Holy shit. So then we all go buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And of course I was really poor at the time. So I remember I was buying like Gold Series 2, and I was building like Black Wings, because Black Wings was so cheap.
Yeah.
You can make a very simple, good Black Wing deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played like Hero Beat for a while, Neos, Alias, and good cards, and Hero Blast. Again, very cheap. But it was kind of like, at the time, Pot of Duality and Veiler and Solemn Warning came out, but I could not afford those cards. And then Agents came out as a structure deck, and then I could get that. And I guess Agents was like the first deck where I was like winning consistently with and winning low. And then, I got the Macca's job, and then, the rest is history. I could afford cards. And I've been playing ever since like 2011-ish.
Yeah. Well,
and I can't remember, my first event top was, I think, the first YCS. No, my first event top was Nationals with Dragon Ruler, but that was like top 64, and I don't like thinking about my top 64 game. It was really, really, really sad.
Why? What happened?
Well, my opponent, I think, from my perspective, my opponent did not play very well.
Yeah.
And... so keep in mind, this was turn 3, and I kind of bricked. I pretty much bricked to the point where I had to set my Eradicator Virus and pass, right? So, I'm playing Dragon Ruler. I set Eradicator pass. That's horrible, yeah?
Yeah.
But then he doesn't clear the Eradicator set, because, like, they could clear it very easily, but he didn't.
Well,
so I don't know why he didn't.
Just the Mecha Phantom Beast would get rid of it, right? So...
Oh, no, he was playing Prophecy, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's still another deck that
can get rid of it. He can clear it so easily, but he didn't. And then on my turn, I think I topped the right Dragon Ruler I needed to actually keep playing. And so then I did all of these actions, and then for some reason he allowed me to go into my level 8 Synchro monster, my Dark Synchro, and then he compulsed it. And so I'm like, okay, chain my Eradicator, full spell, wiped every other card he had except for his monster. But then under Eradicator, the cards he drew were Kaiku. He drew like Kaiku and then Blue Boy and then Imperial Iron Wall. That was what he drew under Eradicator. And I was drawing like blank spells because I only had like one Dragon Ruler at the time. I was really sad because it was literally like, if he didn't draw that Kaiku, I would win. Yeah. But he drew the Kaiku instead of a spell. Like, he was under spell for Eradicator.
Yeah.
Like, so after he misplayed like 3 times, he just failed to draw a spell under Eradicator and he drew Kaiku instead. So it's very sad.
Damn.
And then at Oceanics, I think I got cheated, but that's a controversial story.
Well, I can tell you right now, I haven't had any Premier tops, but to be fair, I haven't actually played that many. And every time...
I think I have 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I can't remember. 6.
I mean, I've only been playing the game super seriously for close to 2 years now, I would say. And I've only been to like 1 YCS and maybe 5 regionals. I haven't really been to that many. And my plan was this year to go to all of them. I really had a plan to make, actually like take the game super seriously, play very competitively, and actually make a top.
Well, yeah. We talked about that a lot.
You know, and
all the cards coming out this year would have just made competitive Yu-Gi-Oh crazy as well.
Yeah. So it's really, really sad that what's happened. And, you know, like, at YCS Sydney, I still stand by the fact that I just picked the incorrect deck because I went with what I thought I knew best, which was Salamangreat, but I did have Sky Striker Orcust at the time, and you know, just judging by the opponents I had I played the deck I should have played, which was Orcust, you know, Sky Striker, I would have beaten these people, but Salah just couldn't keep up with half the meta back then. It was really hard. So
yeah.
Well, I played Pen that YCS, but I am, like, in hindsight, I was glad that I did play Pen there because it was probably one of the last times I played with Electromite, so that was a little bittersweet goodbye.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I played Dragon Link and I didn't play very well, but I got sacked like 3 rounds in a row, so it was pretty sad. I was not winning that to that event.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Well, that's why we all slept in the next day.
Yeah, like in comparison to like a lot of people, like I'm still really like relatively new to the game. Like you got me into this about 2 years ago now, probably.
Well, I would say I got you in around 2015.
Yeah. So when there was Clearforts and
whenever that was a thing. So I went back to locals, which at the time was the GG CBD. I went back there because Curtis and Abdul got me back into the game. So I bought the entire... What was the deck I played at the time? It was Shadal. I bought the entire Shadal deck, and because I couldn't be bothered with the travel, I kind of gave up after about a month or two. But during that period, I got you and Ryan into the game, and you were playing Clearforts, he was playing BA, and we kind of just enjoyed our 3-way, you know... We mainly played on, like, EDO... No, not EDO Pro, but YGO Pro at the time.
That's where my love for the pen mechanic spawned.
Yeah.
But
and that was the first thing he learned. You know, some people say it's so hard to get into the game, but the first deck he ever learnt was Clearfort, which was learning how to pendulum summon and learning all the mechanics in one shot.
Well, taking that big of a break though, and then coming back to it, I had like you got me onto one of the easiest like helmet decks, which was Draco, so I can get back into just. It was more so for me to play the most brain dead way, but also watch other people play and like learn how to like watch them and like learn what synchro is, learn what XYZ, like you know.
Just get refreshed.
Summoning, like learn all of these different mechanics before I start investing in a different deck and start playing properly.
And then you went from like, you know, the most helmet deck to the most explosive deck, which was Pendulum Magician.
Yeah, so. we're straight back to pens.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. Anyway, we've been here for about an hour and 8 minutes, which is pretty good, I'd say. Unfortunately, Steph he's sad. He cut off towards the end.
Did he swap your headphones, or is that a...
Same head. He's losing it. All right, well, you know, hopefully by the next episode... Oh, I can hear him, kind of.
Well, at least he can swear as much as he wants now without, like, you know...
Yeah. So, yeah, that was...
Alright.
Hopefully by the next episode, I'll have... You know, Steph will have this webcam and I would have sorted this one, but... That'll only happen if I manage to get the adapter and if that works. If the webcam itself is ruined, well, I think Steph will have to miss out on the podcast until we figure out how to use his... He doesn't necessarily need to use a webcam next time. Next time, he can just join and just use his computer with no webcam. It'll be fine.
You know what you do? Just treat this as a business. Get yourself a working permit form, and then drive to his house, send it off. You know, like sign yourself as the employee and the employer, and then, you know, just go back and forth and drop your things off. And
that's so true. Bob's your uncle. Anyway, any quick shout outs, Ryan, that you want to give for any videos or something?
Yeah, man, just standard shout out to Jongaa channel on YouTube, Jongaa5 at chaoticfactory.com for the 5% discount code. Shout out to Elite YGO and to Yu-Gi-Oh in general,
especially Oz YGO. We're really trying to make it a big deal.
Yep, keep playing the game in whatever way that you can.
Yeah,
don't give up. keep it chugging. Oh, I like Duel Links. People should play Duel Links.
Maybe that could be. Maybe that can be a discussion.
Expensive and grindy, but Duel Links just has this like charm about it that it just gets very addictive. Like I know last Thursday I probably played like close to 50 games of Shiranui, and that deck is addictive as it's so fun.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Well, that could be a discussion in the next video where you try to convince everyone to play the damn game.
I mean, I've been thinking to actually make content about it, but I'm not sure.
I think it's pretty popular on YouTube.
Pretty hard to make. Like, I think it's hard to make some good content on that, though.
Perhaps.
Expensive.
Well, I think a lot of people enjoy the pack opening aspect of that game specifically.
Oh, yeah.
So...
That shit's horrible.
Yeah.
Did you see Fafa open the packs?
I did. He was hunting for that one card. I forget what it was.
Bro, it's that he had the worst luck I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him because I didn't spend that much money on that set, but I got a guaranteed Archfiend. I got double of my Demise King of Armageddon. Like, I barely opened any of that set, and I crushed him. And he's literally paying so much money. And the last Ultra Rare, 3 times in a row, Infinity Archfiend. I feel bad for him. I really did.
Yeah, that was a funny-ass video to watch.
I watched that live. I felt that, man. I felt that.
Yeah. Well, I'll give a quick shout-out to nikijo.com.au. Use promo code ELITE5 for a 5% discount. Both links will be in the description for Nikijo and Chaotic Factory. We all support each other here in Australia, so I don't want to... I just want us all to be happy and supportive of each other, which would be fantastic. Also, link in the description for...
Daddy Kevin Shio.
That's it. Link in the description for Jongaa. Please go there and subscribe, even though they probably have all our subscribers already. Maybe they should come to us. That'd be cool. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, we'll do this again next week. But again, we don't... I can't promise anything because maybe there's just nothing to discuss. But, maybe we can just ramble on like we did today. I honestly enjoyed this more than necessarily talking about the set breakdown last week. This was just more fun, so... But,
I'm sure there'll be more, like, set breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a thing.
Things that we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be heaps more stuff.
Yeah. And,
maybe we can have a more strict list of topics, but... It's good to just chill and talk, man.
Yeah, man.
It's fun.
I mean, I'm sure
maybe
people enjoy listening
special
to it.
guests in the future, right?
Well... I'm hoping eventually Bowden will... I don't want to lock his name in, but he did mention he wants to be on it, so maybe Bowden Temnik will eventually be on the show. That'd be really fun. And then, slowly we'll get more and more guests, and maybe Steph will actually fix his webcam issue. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.